we'll now be moving on to the VP Education candidates. So get VP Education done and Brent's Politics Editor.
Yes. And you're the current VP of Education at Stirling.
Yes.
All right, amazing. Do you have any open remarks?
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Adelayo. I'm the current Vice President of Education, and I'm also rerunning for a second term. I've always believed that education brings people together. I mean, the reason why I'm here, the reason why you guys are all here is because of education. And I think for us to have a better and good experience with our learning and teaching on campus, we need someone who is passionate about education, someone who is there present, and someone who is able to influence the university in terms of decision making. I've been, in the past few months, I've been actively involved on improving, advocating on improving the student experience, and I'm working with the DPs, the ADLTs across all faculties, and also the academic rep on student feedback on how we can better improve the student experience. And I've been working around restructuring of the personal tutor scheme. I mean, the last time the policy was reviewed was in 2014, and I was able to influence the university to do that. I think that's a really great step. And also, I've been able to influence the university to create a task and finish group, which we have student representatives on board. I've been working around induction to ensure that students are aware of what the student union is and the support I believe through the union. And I was able to attend 75% of process induction. I've also been working around how to have a better experience around Canvas regarding rubrics and Panuto, and so many other things around. I'll continue to ensure timely feedback, accountable information, representation, equality and diversity, and I hope you guys will vote for me. Thank you.
Right, amazing. So moving on to the set questions. How will you ensure that all students, regardless of their background, have equal access to educational support?
I think I'll just continue to promote flexible learning options, because I was an academic rep and I was a postgrad, and I know how difficult it can be, especially in terms of a lot of issues that students face. We have housing. I mean, I was living in Aberdeen when I was studying. I come from Aberdeen down to Stirling all the time for my lectures. I know how difficult it can be, and sometimes had to miss lectures, so I was able to fill it on with Panuto. I know we are all aware of Panuto, where you get audios, recordings, but it's not consistent. It's something that I've been discussing with the university to ensure consistent in terms of, because we have different demographics of students. We have care experience students, we have commuting students, we have international students, we have so many diverse students on campus. So I'll continue to ensure flexible learning options with Panuto, and also rubric where students will be able to have a breakdown of their results and to see where they can make improvements. I'll also continue to improve on the timetable system. I know that's one of the major issues that students are facing at the moment, and for the fact that the timetable system is a new one, and there's a lot of gaps around timetabling, and I've been in conversation with the university on how to improve this, and I'm also part of the committee member, so this is one of the things I would also do. And I think the other thing I would also work on is induction, having like a week induction. I think I would be advocating on ensuring that we have, because I know at the moment we have inductions and teaching simultaneously, like the first week of resumption. I think this is really difficult for students, especially international students, to integrate into the whole system. So this is one of the things I'm working on, and I hope that I'm confident with the relationship that I've had with the university. I know something will be done regarding that.
Amazing. How will you balance the diverse needs of students across different faculties and programs?
I think the main thing is just understanding demographics of students, and we have been able to do that. Like I mentioned earlier, we have student carers, we have community students, care experience students, and all. And I think the major thing now is to ensure, to understand what issues they're facing. I would say for community students, they would have to travel long hours just to come down to the university. And I think one of the things that we can do is to ensure that we have a working timetable system. I mean, we have students who would come down to the uni, having like 9 to 12 lectures, and then the next lecture will be 6 p.m. I mean, that's really difficult for these kind of students. And it's some of the things that I'm also working on to ensure that we understand the different issues that different demographics of students face, and we're able to address that. I know that for care experience students, they face lots of isolation, sometimes they feel lonely, sometimes the support the university has made available is not really pronounced. And because I'm part of the corporate steering group committee where we talk on how to enhance the experience of our to enhance the experience of care experience students. These are some of the things that we've been working on to ensure that the university makes the right opportunity and gives the right process for this kind of students. So yeah.
And of the work that you've done this year, what are you most proud of?
I think everyone is just tired of me saying this. I mean, the structure of the personal tutor scheme is dear to my heart. Because I mean, when I was campaigning before coming into the office, I had the opportunity to speak with lots of students around their experience with personal tutors. And I know that lots of students have really good experience with their tutors. Some don't. I was a victim. I didn't have a good experience with a personal tutor. And I think the fact that I was able to influence the university to review policy that was last reviewed in 2014, I think that's a really good step. And also there is a new update, a new update on the PT student guide for both staff and students on the website as well. And I think I would also say induction. Over the years, the university have had the opportunity to attend the forces inductions, talk about careers, different opportunities. But as a student union, we've not really had that opportunity as pronounced as we want to. And I think I was able to attend 75% induction to speak to students, not just when we want things from them, but when to help them understand how we can support and how they can access support through the union. I think those are one of my big moments, and I'm proud of them.
Very amazing. And what would you like to achieve next year?
There are lots of things. I mean, one of the things, major things, is around policies and procedures for international students. There's been a lot of issues. I've been working closely with our advice team, and we've had lots of issues, especially around AI. We've been in discussion with the senior deputy principals on the need to review the current AI guide, student guide, and also how we can introduce new developments, sort of allow this discussion to be more pronounced. I know that there's been a lot of discussion around AI in the career world, but in terms of education, it's been a bit, I wouldn't say shady, but yeah, so we're working on that. So one of the things I'm focusing on is policy and procedures around international students, working on AI guide, and I would also continue on the work that I've been doing, because I believe that the restructuring of the personal tutor system is just a step. It's been over 2 years that we've been on it, and I think now is the time to fire on and to continue to work with the university to ensure there is a change.
Cool. Do you mind explaining the specific changes that are going to be made in the personal tutor scheme?
Okay, so one of the major issues, I mentioned earlier that a task and finish group has been created. So another huge win regarding this is we have 3 student representatives in this committee. So we have ADLTs, we have professional services, myself and the union president in this committee. So we have 2 faculty officers and 1 academic person also sitting on these committees. And one of the things that we are doing is to review best practices, to understand the support and training available for personal tutors themselves, to also make sure that there is enough awareness for students to understand that they have a personal tutor. Because the personal tutor is the first point of contact for anything academic and pastoral support. So it's one of the things that we're working on. So one of the major changes that will be happening is to ensure that there is enough awareness for students about a personal tutor, and also to ensure that the personal tutor we create a more comfortable and relaxing environment for students to approach their tutors, and not just only when there are issues, but also to talk about their improvements and how to do better with their studies. So these are the major changes that we are looking at. And I think the other part is the aspect of we've received feedbacks where we have students who have, maybe we have like personal tutors who've had a reason to leave the university and the details have not been uploaded, and then you have issues where students keep reaching out and there is a response. So we are also trying to review, and also lastly to ensure that the personal tutoring allocation system is not done manually but becomes more digital. So yeah.
Alright, cool. And just based off of different changes, is there going to be any changes to the academic rep program?
Yes, there is. We are working on that at the moment. So at the moment, we have the structure that we have is not really helping in terms of student voice and student engagement. So what we are doing at the moment is to review the structure, and I mean, we've been having lots of discussion around these areas, I would just say. So at the moment, we have the module reps for undergrads, and then we have program reps for postgrads. So what we are reviewing is to have a division rep instead, because we realized that having module rep is kind of like short term, and we don't really have that kind of engagement that we are looking for to make a change. So it's an ongoing process, and we are hoping that this change be implemented in the new academic year.
All right, amazing. And just lastly, is there anything you wish that you had done differently this year?
Honestly, I would say no, because I think when I came with low expectation. I won't lie, because I've heard so many things. Oh, you can't influence the university. There's so many things. People before you have tried to, and nothing has changed. But I mean, coming into the university, it has helped me understand the power of student voice. And I think it's not just about me, it's about the collective effort as SABS and also the support that we have from the student union. And I think it's a really good experience for me. And I would say that I came in with low expectation, and I'm glad that till this point, I think I've exceeded my expectation, and I know that there is more work to be done. I'm not saying that we are there yet, but I think the job is really good. So yeah.
Okay, great. Do we have any questions from the audience?
I have a question because I understand that you wouldn't do anything differently from your first term, but what have you learned in your first term that will make you better suited for re-election?
I think being consistent, being stubborn sometimes. I know it can be really hard. Understanding, allowing the university to understand that we as students know what we want. We are the experts in our own learning, and they can't say otherwise. So, yeah.
Any other ones?
Sorry. I wanted you to elaborate a little bit on the scheduling. What kind of changes to scheduling would there be? Like how classes are scheduled?
Okay, so I would just go into a bit of the issues that we're experiencing. So we realized that there are some modules that have about 500, 600 students, and at the moment, the capacity for the highest capacity from the university is about 350, and that's like the Logie Hall. So because of that, the university they're having issues with having to reschedule. They're having issues with the timetable system in terms of like there are too many people on the program, and because the capacity cannot take everyone at the same time, they have to like cut in between and all. So because of that, the timetabling has been, especially because it's a new system, they don't really get the trick on how to really understand the whole thing. But I think one of the major issues is because, I don't know, but I think one of the major issues is the aspect of, I think this year there was no capped module, which was why we had lots of people on a certain module. So looking forward this year, I think the university have learned their lessons, and they're working on restructuring and also to ensure that they make the timetable more accessible for community students, I would say. I mean, I would say putting all diverse students into like consideration, but I think mostly for community students because you have to come from a long distance. I can't really promise on what the actual change is going to be like, but we're working on it at the moment. So as time goes on, if there is any updates, I will let you guys know.
All right, Fad, any other questions? All right, great. Do you want the closing remarks then?
Yeah, I know I'm the only candidate for this role, and I'm not in any way too confident about that. I believe in student voice, and I believe that you guys have the autonomy to do anything as you like. But I would say that I want you guys to just look back on the changes that has been done regarding education in the past year, and I want you to use that to make a choice if I'm the right candidate. I know I'm the right candidate, but I just wanted to make that forefront of your mind and say, I think I'll vote for Adrian. Thank you.
All right, thank you.